On this episode of the Third and Thirsty podcast, the Broncos upset the Eagles, are the officially Super Bowl contenders. The Chargers lost their second game in a row. They're unprepared, undisciplined. Begs the question, where is Harbaugh's team? And then the Raiders lost their fourth game in a row. Is it Geno? Is it Pete? Who do you blame? Let's get into it now. Cheers.
The only chemistry that Geno has is Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers.
I thought you were going to say other teams' cornerbacks.
I mean,
don't be trying to twist my words.
Man, I'm freaking pissed off now.
Nice. That's always my goal here, is to piss Alex off.
Shut the hell up, Eagle fans. Welcome into the Third and Thirsty podcast, your one-pot stop for Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, Kansas City, referee, and Taylor Swift free AFC West banter. I'm Alex Bell, fan of the Denver Broncos, who just took down the defending Super Bowl champs. To my left, I have Omar Rubio. He's a fan of the Chargers. They've now lost 2 in a row. And to my right, I have Edgar Larios. He's a fan of the Raiders. They've lost 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know. We've all lost track. Games in a row. How are we doing today, fellas? Edgar's all pissed now. He's kicking the desk.
Is all I got to say. Is frustrating.
I could have been even more mad, but luckily at least one of my teams won this past weekend.
Yeah, I feel really good about my team now. This is going to be another fun podcast for me. Last week was pretty sweet, but I might have spoken a little bit too early last week when I said the Broncos are back. So I'll say it again. The Broncos are so freaking back. Beating the hell out of the Eagles. We're going to get into all 3 games, what it kind of means for the season going forward here now. So we're not just doing a recap of the game, but how we feel about our teams going forward at this point, what we think is the most important narratives. We usually go through the schedule, so we'll just continue to do that. We had 2 early games, and we'll go with the Raiders first. So what's after that game, Edgar, what do you feel is the pressing issue with the Raiders?
Yeah, so after that game, obviously, where can I start? All 3 phases in this team they're just not up to anybody's standards. The offense, a lot of people thought that the offense was going to be leading the charge, but it's really the defense, but it's not really saying much because the defense also has their struggles. But even our special teams is having troubles right now. We got a block punt, which gave Jonathan Taylor plenty of good field position and stuff like that. So that's why he ended up with a hat trick. But yeah,
the fact that the Raiders are just not a very good football team.
No, yeah, they're not a good team, but Jonathan Taylor, he's a beast, but we got him to rush. He only rushed for 66 yards. Sure, he got no, I'm not gonna take away those 3 touchdowns. He's still a beast and everything, but like I said, this run defense, it's still it's good, but obviously we still need to work on that pass defense, and with our young corners, it's gonna take us a long time. But like I said, it's not just the defense; it's special teams. There's just a lot of bad blocking, a lot of bad, it's kind of really shocking because it's been a long time since the Raiders had blocked kicks, but it's only the last couple kicks has only been with one special teams coach. So a lot of people are blaming him, but honestly, this whole team is just not doing good.
So what do you think what do you attribute that to?
Well, that's where I was going to go to my question. That's where the question I brought up, is it Geno or is it Pete? And to be 100% honest, a lot of Raider Nation, literally, they heard Pete Carroll come out oh, we're going to compete. We're going to, do this and that. This guy bit more he can chew. Raiders, as much as we had players in places that we can, be good, this team is way too new. There's too many new pieces. There's too many, they don't have chemistry. They're not gelling or anything. We can go back to being it's coaching, but coaches is not going to fix their chemistry. They still need time to play with each other. So if I would point fingers at anybody, I wouldn't say it's Pete Carroll's fault. I would honestly blame the Raiders. So many bad years of constantly changing coaches, so many bad years of drafting. It caught us. It caught up. You know, like
It's
It's
caught
kind
up a
of 20 years ago,
time
bro.
like well,
that stink just remains.
no. Well, I mean, of course it caught up. Like, of course, like that's been like the thing. But the thing is like a lot of people think, like a lot of Raider Nation think that this team was capable of actually like winning all these games, and you know that was the best hope. But let's be realistic. We played really good teams and we got destroyed. You know, and people can blame Pete Carroll saying that all the game left him. He honestly like the plays that they're giving the team, they're capable of winning. They're capable of moving the ball. It's just Geno continuously turning over the ball. Even Genty, when he runs the ball, like even when Genty's running the ball, even there, he's a rookie. There's times he's missing lanes. There's times he's missing blocks. The receivers aren't getting separation. Like the only chemistry that Geno has is Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers.
Damn, I thought you were going to say other teams' cornerbacks.
I mean, the reason. I mean, that's the only reason why he continues to stare down his damn receivers. So,
Yeah, it's been pretty rough, man. Like I mean, every team has every team's fans has optimism going into the season, and definitely coming in with Pete Carroll and a new quarterback, you definitely understood why they were so excited. If you had to decide, like, all right, going forward, either Pete or Geno starts turning a corner and gives you confidence going forward, which one would you pick? Would you rather have 34-year-old Geno Smith turning things around, or 73-year-old Pete Carroll
I would honestly
start to get shit together?
Honestly, I would continue going with Pete. I would not.
Yeah.
It was like I said before. Like I'll be honest with you, I was excited when they brought him in, not because I thought he was gonna save us, but because there was really like I honestly didn't see other quarterbacks that we could have brought in and that would have literally done the job. Like I feel like any other quarterback would have been just as worse, So with bringing in Geno, like obviously he's already proven that with P he can play. And from what I thought, that the Raiders were going to have the same offensive line they had last year, which they finished, pretty doing pretty good. But when 2 weeks before the season started, Gene, I don't know if it was Pete's idea of shifting that whole offensive line or his son, but clearly that project literally has backfired 100%. A lot of Raider Nation is asking to put JPJ back at center, but Pete Carroll's already came out that he's not going to do it. He's going to, as long as he's there, JPJ is never going to be a center.
Never.
Wow. He really wants him just to stay at guard. They literally came out saying that Jordan Meredith has the perfect fixture to play center and all this and that. And it's frustrating. But I don't know if it's him or his son that's making those decisions.
Yeah, that's
Ultimately,
surprising.
it's always going to be the head coach.
But yeah, when it comes down to it, yeah, it's the head coach for sure. So that's what's also frustrating. But in the end of the day, like I think JPJ is a good guard or a good center, regardless where they put him. I still think that regardless, the Raiders, they're in rebuild mode at this. Like they've been in rebuild mode. And as much as we were excited, even as much as Pete had us excited that we were going to compete and everything, like we had to be realistic.
Yeah, I think at this point when you're 1-4 in the division that you're in, with I don't know what the Chiefs are doing now. We're recording this Monday night. They were losing 21-14. Hopefully they're still losing.
Hopefully.
But you're going to have two teams that are 3-2, another team that's 2-3 that should be able to turn things around because of the Chiefs. And they always have the NFL and the refs in their back pocket, so they'll rip some wins off here and there. But I mean, you're not sniffing the playoffs.
Oh no, not even close.
At this point, you might as well just see what you have.
I honestly my best, like I said before, even when I did, think that the Raiders had a chance to win 9 games, I still thought that we weren't going to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I had the Broncos and the Chargers 11-4, and if there was any team, if the Raiders and the Chiefs are playing against each other the last week, and if there's any team playing for the playoffs, it's going to be the Chiefs. We're not going to be even close to be smelling that shit.
No.
So, so at this point for me, I would, Obviously, we can't let go Geno just yet. It's a 50 million dead cap, but next year it's 15 million. So if they decide to let go of him next year, so be it. But as long as they have a plan, I don't care if Geno continues being the quarterback, as long as they have a plan. I want they either draft or they, they're not gonna be like number one in cap space, but they're still gonna be top five. I know this last year we didn't spend too much on the free agency. I believe that's because they didn't want to overspend on players. They were waiting to see what direction they're going to take the Raiders. So hopefully next year that's when they're gonna start spending more money and bringing in, like players that they want, like basically what the direction that they want the Raiders to go to, basically. And yeah, releasing Geno next year, 15 million is a lot easier to take than fucking 50 million.
Yeah, I mean, you could get rid of Geno, but at that point, now you're looking for another quarterback. I'm looking at free agents. You can never really. It's very rare to find. Well, it's rare to find a quarterback in free agency that's actually going to work out. I mean,
yeah,
Peyton Manning obviously is the one that you look at, but that never happens. He came off.
I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks.
All-pro player, obviously one of the greatest of all time. But
like, I will admit this: there's a lot of quarterbacks that do switch, and they continue playing good with the other team, but those other teams are already they're pretty much.
They're a quarterback away.
Yeah, I want to say quarterback away, but obviously they still need more pieces. But they're a lot more closer than the Raiders were than when they picked up Geno.
Yeah, but even though, I mean, my point was quarterback or teams don't let good quarterbacks go.
Of course not, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that next year there's going to be a free agent for us to sign.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, right now. No, I'm not that's not. I'm not.
Ooh, Case Keenum.
I mean, for me, at this point,
Trey Lance. Jimmy G.
Nah, Trey Lance. I wouldn't mind Trey Lance.
Mac Jones,
depending on the.
No, Mac Jones is not showing up on here. Maybe.
Did he sign a 2-year contract with the Niners?
Shit, he might get locked up there long term the way he's playing.
Yeah.
You guys can trade for Brock Purdy.
Right now, Daniel Jones is going to be a free agent, but there's no way he lets him go.
Nah, they don't let him go.
Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Marcus Mariota, Zach Wilson, Tyrod Taylor, Joe Flacco.
At this point, I would rather let the Raiders continue building with Geno until, if it's not next year, because even next year, Raiders are only going to pay him $25 million. A lot of the money that he's supposed to get paid is, excuse me, sorry. A lot of the money is for, he's getting paid a lot of it this year. So next year, it's only going to be $25 million. He's only guaranteed 65, and he's already got 40 out of it.
Either way, it's going to be a long, rough road here with Geno being quarterback. Because, I mean, if Geno's not going to work out, okay, now you start looking at the draft. I'm no college football buff, but it doesn't look like there's great quarterbacks coming into the draft this year.
Actually, there is. This class is a lot better.
Say Arch Manning.
No. I don't even think Arch Manning is going to come out this season.
This
year, he might end up staying in the season.
Again, I'm not a
college. The only quarterback that. And the only reason I know him is the only reason I know this quarterback is because last year he was projected to enter the draft, but last minute he was offered a contract by Miami, so he ended up going to transferring to Miami. But he used to be the quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs. He won the championship, and he played with Bart Bowers, and that's Carson Beck. And right now he's playing with Miami, and Miami's balling right now. So it's not guaranteed that we're gonna get him, but he is in the draft. There's also the Tennessee University of Tennessee quarterback. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are eligible this draft, but at the same time, it's not guaranteed. So it's one of those things where, as mad as Raider Nation's gonna get, we're gonna have to there's gonna be multiple years where we're gonna be rebuilding. Even next year, sadly to say, it's not going to just take us this year and next year to build. We might not even smell the playoffs with Pete Carroll being as head coach.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of time to discuss that in the coming weeks about how the Raiders' future is looking and how it's set up with. But Pete Carroll obviously is a young 73, but he is 73. So.
Yeah, but also obviously if anybody. Today's what, Tuesday, Monday? I forgot the date. What's today's day?
Monday.
That was Monday, anyways. But
The
today,
sixth.
The 6th.
today there was a report that Raiders released Jermaine Pratt,
Yes.
and now there's reports out saying that, I mean, who's going to be happy being 1-4 and paying like shit? So a lot of players are unhappy. So who knows? And it's already week 5, and it sucks to say this. Who knows if Pete Carroll was even going to be the head coach next year?
Oof.
Whoa, that turned quick.
Yeah.
That turned real quick.
Yeah.
Me personally, even though a lot of Raider Nation is already asking for his head, I'm tired of this QB, of this head coach carousel.
Yeah, dude,
I'm
that's-
sticking with Pete. That's my opinion. I don't give a damn whoever wants it. Anybody can talk all their shit. I'm sticking with Pete. If they decide to move on, so be it. But Pete, Raider Nation, it's gonna be the same shit every year until we fucking stay with one head coach.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Pete Carroll deserves more than a year.
Exactly. And they're literally comparing him to AP. Like, oh, why with
That's
AP they're gonna let him go? Why they let him go? But with Pete Carroll, they're gonna give him a chance. AP never had experience. Even though I'm gonna say this again, he was my favorite head coach.
Damn, you're
I'm not saying he was the best head coach. He was my
too.
favorite head
He
coach.
was my favorite head coach for the Raiders too.
Yes.
Okay?
Well, maybe Josh
But
McDaniels.
at the end of the day, like, yeah, I don't know.
The Raiders will Raider.
Misery.
I mean,
Misery.
trust me, I was excited for this year, and trust me, after we lost against the Bears and we lost Colton Miller,
Yeah.
that was it.
I mean, it's usually around this time of the season where Raider fans are,
Already looking for next year.
yeah, basically
no, not really.
ready to cheer on to see who's they're going to be their first pick of the draft next year.
Yeah. Now you start rooting against the Raiders so you get a better draft pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, yeah, man, it's gonna be fun watching them continue to suck. Before we get to the Broncos, anything else you guys want to add on the current situation of the Raiders?
Just seems like it's like you said, it's a carousel. It just keeps going round and round, and not just the coaches, just like the team. Like they never get off the carousel. It just goes round and
Well,
round.
I mean, how can they get out of the carousel if they continue letting go of the head coach after 1 year or like 1.5 years? Like, of course they're gonna have the same carousel if they can't even like have at least 1+ year or at least 2 years with the same coach. You know, so as much as I'm a Raider fan till I die, but I'm not gonna fucking sit right here and pretend like these Raiders are like being smart. They were smart the last 25 years. Like, it sucks, but it is what it is.
I like it. Oh man, that thing is never gonna stop. So let's get to the Broncos. Before we do, shout out to anybody that's watching on YouTube, listen on Spotify, Apple. If you're watching on YouTube, please do us a huge favor. If you're enjoying what you're watching, subscribe.
If you're enjoying my pain, go ahead, comment.
If you're a Raider fan, wallow in pain with Edgar. If you're
But
a Bronco,
subscribe.
yeah. If you're a Bronco,
subscribe.
Bronco or
First.
Charger fan, laugh at Edgar, like we do every week. And
I'll be like Alex. Maybe if I keep saying I want to die every year, maybe the Broncos, maybe the Raiders will switch.
it worked for me a couple weeks ago. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Really appreciate all that good stuff. Let's get to the Broncos. Going into the season, I said in our season preview, the Eagles game is going to be the toughest game on the schedule, not just for the Broncos, but for anyone in the NFL. You're coming off a short week. You're traveling across the country. You're playing in an early time slot. You're playing the defending Super Bowl champions. There's a smoke alarm that keeps going off, and I just replaced the battery, so please excuse that. But the Broncos go in, get off to a rough start, and then finish the game. They win. Now, love to see that. Love to see Bo Nix play well in the fourth quarter. Obviously, would like to see him play better during the first 3 quarters. But this was the biggest win for the Denver Broncos since Super Bowl 50. Love seeing it going forward. And it gets me thinking, are the Broncos Super Bowl contenders? Legitimate Super Bowl contenders at this point. Do you guys have anything to push on it before I get into my spiel?
I would say the defense is there.
Okay.
The offense has some work to do.
Okay.
I feel like the defense is what's driving that team right now, which is a top-notch defense. But maybe with another team that's a better scoring team, maybe puts up a little bit more points. I don't know if you guys will keep up with them. That's the only thing that I see. I can't hate on them too much. Obviously I hate them, but I can't hate on them too much because they are a good team. We beat them already once. Gladly we did it. Glad we did it early in the season, so that way it gives us a little bit of chance now that we're not playing as well. But back to the Broncos. Yeah, that's the only thing that I see is that if the offense can keep up with the defense.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. Let's get into the Super Bowl roster needs. What you need to win a Super Bowl. You need the defense. We already covered that. Broncos have the top or a top 5 defense in the league. They definitely showed it this week. Obviously, the Eagles' offense hasn't been great this year, but when it really mattered and they needed to get those stops at the end of the game, they made those stops. For you to win a Super Bowl, you need a top-tier edge rusher. Nick Bonito arguably is the best in the league at this point. Shout out to the Broncos ownership and general manager for getting that deal done before the season started. Cowboys, Jerry Jones, if you're listening, that's how you do it. He signed for what, 26, 27 mil a year, something like that. If they wait until after the end of this year, they'd be paying 42, 45 because he's already got 7 sacks. He's on the way to he's on pace to break NFL record. Will he do that? Probably not. But he's going to be up there. 18.5 is the Broncos record set by Von Miller. Very good chance he gets there. So you got the top tier edge rusher, obviously. And then you got Cooper alongside of him, who's obviously very good as well. You need a strong left tackle. Garrett Bowles going into last week, and I haven't checked since, but he had the best pass rusher rate as a
Win
left
rate?
tackle. Yep. He has given up the least amount of pressures in the league. He's obviously top tier. You need weapons. Going to one of your takes to begin the season, Cortland Sutton is not a true number one. He's number 11 in yards, 6 in first downs, and got 99 yards against Quinyon Mitchell last week, who going into the game was one of the best corners in the game in this season for sure. So he's obviously a number one. Dobbins is number 4 in yards. He's averaging 5.2 a carry. So you got the run game as well. Other wide receivers have been stepping up every game, whether it's Mims or Franklin. Ingram finally showed up. So you got the weapons. Quarterback, I have faith in Bo Nix. He showed it in that fourth quarter. When you need him to step up and win games, he does it. We could finally say that about him. Last year, you couldn't really say that about him, except for that Chiefs game that Alex Forsythe screwed up by letting them block the kick. Bo Nix would have had a game-winning drive on that game. So you need 5 or 6 top-end talent players. The Broncos last season had 5 All-Pros: Bonito, Miners, Allen, PS2, and Mims. They could have more this year. The Broncos definitely have a Super Bowl roster. Is there any pushback against that?
No,
It's close. You guys are up there with any other team that's vying for the Super Bowl, so it's close.
Okay.
You're not far off.
So what I was gonna say is, I'm not taking away your guys' win from the Eagles. Y'all fucking played your asses out, and
Played it out so hard.
the thing is the way I see it is like you guys are definitely gonna make the playoffs and compete against anybody that makes it to the playoffs. The only thing for me, it's like, because the Eagles were struggling against the Rams. Yeah, they won against all these games, but they were very close games. Luckily, the Broncos were just able to not let them come back. But that right there shows me that yes, you guys will compete with anybody in the playoffs. But if Bo continues waiting until the fourth quarter to really have that, to start having that best game against a better offense, you guys are gonna have
And to be fair to Bo, I mean, that's not really been his thing in his career of not playing well through 3 quarters and then playing well in the fourth quarter. Against the Eagles, obviously you're going against Vic Fangio and that defense who has talent all over the place. Yeah. They really had him on his heels for those first 3 quarters, and he figured it out. So I'm not worried about that being a pattern for Bo of not being able to play well during the first 3 quarters. His knock through his first year and change has always been that he can't step up and beat really good teams. It's harder to find a team that's been playing better over the last year and change than the Eagles. Obviously, winning the Super Bowl last year, that was their first loss since December of last year. They'd won 21 of 22.
yeah.
Excuse me. So, look, I mean, even after the Eagles lost that game, you can't say that the Eagles aren't a top 3 team in the league.
Oh no,
Broncos went in and beat them.
They're still considered. Yeah, they're still considered. They're going to be heavy favorites to win the NFC. But like I said, like they were. I mean, they still came out with the win, and a win's a win. Like I'm not taking those away, but they were very close. You know, with the Rams, with
The Bucks,
the Bucks. You know,
Cowboys.
yeah. So I wouldn't say like they're definitely not the team they were last year, but they're definitely still, you know, somebody to take serious. But like I said, the fact that you guys didn't let them come back, you know, that speaks a lot about your guys' team. So like I said, you guys are gonna definitely compete with the playoffs, but you know, down like more when I see more like down the road, I'll be like, yeah, this team is Super Bowl ready.
At this point, I'm saying, is this a one-off or is this, you know, what the new standard is? You know, that's the first big win of the season. You know, the other couple games, some you lost by, hey, might have been a field goal, might have been a touchdown, one score. There's still losses. Like you guys just still had a win. So if it continues this way, then yes, definitely. If you have another big win, I don't know who they play next week, but if it's another big win, then yes, it definitely shoots you guys way up there. You guys are definitely in the contender, like playoffs.
That's my point. I'm not saying
playoffs.
No,
Picture.
I mean,
playoff contender. Come on, bro.
No. You're in the playoff picture as a contender to keep moving up, but until I see another like statement win like this,
how many statement wins do you need for a team
like
to be
two? At least two. This could be a one-off, and then you guys could lose, you know, your next 2 in a row.
That's probably not going to happen. They're playing the Jets and the Giants. So.
Well, for me, it's like I wouldn't say the next game, but like against the Commanders, and I'm not even saying
the next good team.
And I'm not even saying the Commanders are elite either. Like, you know, they're beatable. Like the Chargers, like defense was actually did a lot better than I thought they were going to be against them. I mean, yeah, he has lost, but I mean, that's the next one. But like I said, I definitely like, you know, like I said, I won't take away the win against the Eagles. That was a fucking good ass win, and your guys' team is definitely going to make it. Like, I honestly see you guys not losing against the Bills. That's what I'm trying to say. I see you guys actually competing against the Bills. I see you guys competing against who else is doing good right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm putting a pull up for you guys. And I'll lay out the teams, and you tell me if you guys feel like the Broncos would just contend.
Yeah, but you said like they're Super Bowl winners, so that's what I'm
like, Super Bowl contenders.
That's what
I'm not saying the Broncos are locked to win the Super Bowl. I'm saying they could contend to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they're one of the teams that you could. If they won the Super Bowl, it wouldn't be shocking. That's what a Super Bowl contender is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Right, so okay, so the Colts, the Broncos had beat, but they lost at the end with that leverage call. Still, they lost.
Yeah,
totally. But can they beat the Colts? Absolutely, they can. The Bills just lost to the Patriots at home.
Division
Bills
game,
look beatable.
Division game. You never know.
The Steelers, come on.
Yeah.
They're going to fall off a cliff at some point. It just depends on Aaron Rodgers being 41 years old.
At that point, they might just do what they always do.
You know, Chargers, the Broncos, you know the Broncos will beat the Chargers. Jaguars, they're looking pretty good. Again, we need to check the score. But in the AFC, I mean, those are the top teams right now. You're going to tell me that the Broncos can't beat any of those teams? They just beat the Eagles.
I would say they can definitely compete. I mean,
so
like,
there we go. So we all agree.
I would say
compete.
I would say like yes, if you guys play the Colts, you guys can definitely win. But I feel like if you guys play them multiple times, like that game can go either way every single time.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They could compete for a Super Bowl. They're contenders.
Then yes. Because the way I heard it was like, yeah, we're gonna like, you know,
we're not. I'm not saying the Broncos are destined to win the Super Bowl this year. That's different.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, as a Chargers fan, I could say the same thing. We beat the Broncos, who you're saying are Super Bowl contender. We beat the Chiefs, who were in the Super Bowl last year.
No, I'm not saying that they're not.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's still early in the season. Yes, you're in the playoff picture at this point, I think, and that gives you a chance to contend for the Super Bowl.
Technically, the Bengals are in the playoff picture right now, so give them a little bit more respect than that. That's insane. They're in the playoff picture.
Yeah. But one win doesn't do it for me. One big one doesn't do it for me. It's got to be a couple in the season. If you guys would have beat the Colts, then damn, that's 2 big wins, especially as good as the Colts are been right now.
Yeah, I would
that you beat 2 top 5 teams in the league at that point. top 3 even maybe.
Uh-huh.
So then I would have been 100% on your side right now. I agree that you're like I said, in the playoff picture. The Broncos will most likely make the playoffs unless they implode. And that's giving them contention for the Super Bowl. Cincy, I don't see it. They're not good. They're going to fall off. You're not going to do it.
I mean, even if Joe Burrow comes back, there's no way they're going to be there.
And even as the Chargers are playing right now, it's up in the air depending on how they, next couple games.
Yeah, well, we'll get to the Chargers here in a second. But
I'm just saying, like, I'm comparing it to other teams that have had decent wins and decent plays so far. It's just still a little early for me. It was a big statement win, and that catapulted you guys up, but into playoff picture. With that win,
they weren't in the playoff picture before.
No,
that?
with that win, no, they weren't, because they were what?
They were 2-2.
Yeah, I will admit this. After this playoff, after the win,
to play the Chiefs,
I kind of didn't really see I said this in the beginning too. I didn't really think the Chargers or the Broncos really did enough. Like, yeah, you guys will make the playoffs, but I thought you guys were gonna just again another one and done.
Boy, they proved you wrong yesterday, didn't they?
Now with the Eagles, I can see like they're gonna compete. Like they're not gonna let the Bills just run them over. Like they're gonna go down like score to score basically.
Okay, so it's 2-3, Edgar. Or I'm sorry, Omar. You're tripping. The Broncos weren't a playoff team before this week. Get the fuck out of here.
If they would have lost, that would have been putting them way out, I think.
Not way out. 2-3 with your last loss coming against a non-conference team with the Giants
and then
Jets
if the Chiefs
coming up,
would have won,
no.
If Chiefs
it
won
would
today,
not.
you would have been in third place.
Them out.
It would have been a lot harder to get in there.
Would not be writing obituaries for the Broncos if they lost. We don't have to talk about it because they won. They beat the Eagles. So,
but you were talking about earlier if they would have beat this team, they would have beat these teams. So
now, according to Omar, the Broncos are a fringe playoff team because they beat the
fringe playoff team. I said they're in the playoff picture now.
Okay, so fringe playoff team.
I said they're in the playoff picture now.
Yeah,
like they're in.
So that's a fringe playoff team.
Fringe is what like. Maybe not. I say they're like more than likely to make the playoffs. Don't be trying to twist my words.
Man, I'm freaking pissed off now.
Nice. That's always my goal here is to piss Alex off.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess the Broncos need to beat the Jets to change your mind.
I said a big win, another big win, another team that's is most likely going to be in the playoffs.
The Broncos have a pretty soft schedule coming up now, so they got the Jets, the Giants, the Cowboys, who offensively look really good. So they beat the Cowboys after beating the Jets and the Giants to go.
Yeah, that would
6-2. Will you still be saying, well, they might make the playoffs this year?
I just said if they keep it going, if they keep it up.
Okay.
See, don't be twisting my words.
All right, man. We'll come back and circle back to this in 3 weeks. I feel pretty good that I'll be right about this. But let's get to the Chargers. That'll be a fun conversation for me because they suck ass now. Shout out to anybody that's listening. Follow us on Instagram, Third and Thirsty Podcast. Like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Chargers lost to the Commanders. How you feeling?
They got whooped by the Commanders. It was close, but it wasn't close. The score at the end wasn't close, but up until like the fourth quarter, maybe a couple minutes into the fourth quarter, it was close. But even then, it wasn't close. You could tell the Commanders were just manhandling them. They were pushing them around. It wasn't even close. All the penalties, that's where my headline or my, what were we calling it? Hot take kind of thing was, where is Jim Harbaugh's team? Like, we're expecting Jim Harbaugh team to come in disciplined, not making so many mistakes, so many penalties. I felt like every big play was called back by a penalty. Every single play. There was a point in the game where Herbert converted like a 3rd and 17, called back for a penalty. It's like 3rd and 27. He converts again. Penalty. It's like, how many times can he do that without, making a mistake? How many times does he have to convert? Did he have to go back to like 3rd and 40 to maybe give them a chance? Like it's just, I know there's a lot of injuries, but that doesn't make up for all these, or that doesn't like it doesn't equate to where you're making all these penalties. So many mistakes. It's just undisciplined. I feel like unprepared, and that's not what a Jim Harbaugh team is. A Jim Harbaugh team doesn't get pushed around, doesn't give up close to freaking 9 yards of carry to a guy. And it's just, that's why my thing was, where is Jim Harbaugh's team? Where is the fight? You see some guys out there, you see them trying, but it's just maybe because they don't get enough playing time. They're trying to be extra aggressive and jumping the snap count, hitting the quarterback late, freaking hitting the punter and getting a run back for a TD called back. Like, come on. That kind of stuff just cannot fly. You can't do that kind of stuff, especially if you have this many injuries. And to give yourself a shot, you have to play a clean game. You have to follow the game plan. There was a point in the game where it was it was a fourth down, like a 4th and 4. They had 10 guys on the field. They couldn't even get the right amount of people on the field.
That's right.
Then Keenan Allen's over there is like, we only have 10 guys. He's yelling at the sideline. Everybody's looking at each other like, what's going on? There's 10 seconds left when they break the huddle. And instead of calling a timeout and regrouping, they go with a hurried up play, and freaking Tyler Conklin gets hit in the face with the ball.
Oh, I saw that play. Yeah.
Before I go any further, Tyler Conklin, get the fuck off my team.
Damn.
Every time he goes in there, you know he's in there because he fucks up.
Omar's so pissed now.
Yes, I am. No, but that just every time he goes in there, you're expecting him, all right, maybe he'll make a play this time. It proves me wrong every time. There's not been one play where I saw it where I said, man, he might be turning this around. It's like, no, he just keeps digging himself deeper and deeper into a hole. At this point, I don't want to see him back on the field.
Dang.
I do not. Like, I get the offensive line playing like shit. You're on your 4th and 5th backup tackle. You're on your like 3rd or 4th right guard. The only 2 guys that are still on the offensive starting line are the 2 worst from last year. So it's like that. It is what it is. You're gonna have your struggles because you have I think Justin Herbert's like meeting these guys for the first time when they come on the field. It's just,
damn.
It's really bad. But that I can let go. That I can look past. Just these stupid penalties, these little mistakes that a Jim Harbaugh team shouldn't be making.
Is Mekhi Becton still hurt? Does he still have that kind of cushion or
no? He came back, but he did something to his hand, and they're trying to tape it up, like put it in a club, but I guess they couldn't get it right to where he could have mobility. But he says he's playing next week. They're gonna like put a cast, put a club on his hand, and he says he's playing. Yeah. So that should help a little bit.
Yeah, I saw him on the sidelines, and I was just like, I wonder if the concussions were still like affecting him.
No, I can't remember what exactly happened to his hand, but it was like a hand injury, and he was trying to come back, but they just couldn't get the wrap right to like in a hurry for him to get back out there. So, I mean, like I said, it's not the offensive line's fault. They're just they're not good players, and
they're just
not. I mean, there's guys that just got picked up off the street last week, and they're playing for the Chargers in an NFL game.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't expect much from them. You can't expect to maybe not make so many penalties. Trey Tipkins, 2 plays in a row where it's a holding, and the very next play, it's a freaking you're lined up wrong.
You taking your IPA away from him?
Nah, that game he had a good game. So
okay,
that game
he gets
that
to keep
was,
that
yeah.
IPA.
Yeah,
a good deal.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just it wasn't pretty. There was nothing in the game that made me think at least they improved from last week at this thing. And even what the Chargers never really have any issues with, the special teams, the last couple of weeks, they've been shooting themselves in the foot with bad special teams play, blocking the back, running into the kicker, holding, things like that. It's just bringing back so many plays. And
I thought you were going to say bringing back so many memories of other undisciplined Charger teams before.
Nah, that was mainly the kickers that messed us over, fucked us over all those years. But yeah, it's just you can't win a game with this many injuries and racking up like 100 yards and penalties every game.
Yeah.
It's just not sustainable football.
Well, I'd love to see it, man. That is something though you feel like will get cleaned up with Harbaugh being the coach. He can't do anything about the injuries.
Yeah, I feel like
the Chargers training staff, man, they just not able to keep guys off the injury reserve or what?
That's how football is. It's a rough sport.
Yeah.
to be honest,
Some teams get lucky and don't have as many injuries. Some teams get ravaged by injuries. Look at
The
last
Chargers
year.
usually are that team though.
no, yeah. To be honest, dude, I always thought it was that Telesco curse because as soon as we got Telesco, we had a bunch of injuries, but now neither one of us have them, and all of a sudden, you guys are going back to your injuries like crazy.
I don't know what it is. I mean, like I said, I just attribute it's just football.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
at the end of the day,
anybody
that's what it
can
is.
break a leg on any play. It's just it is what it is. They know what they signed up for, and it sucks for us. I'm pretty sure it sucks for them. They want to be out there on the field and help their team win, just as much as we want them to be out
and
there.
earn their next contract.
Yeah.
And make their money. So, yeah. Well, I've been really happy to see the Chargers lose their last 2 games. So who do they got next? They got
Dolphins.
They got to get right game next week.
That's what we thought last week.
That's true.
That was going to be easy.
I will say, I mean, at this point, dude, I don't think there's. I mean, besides the Raiders, there's any team that's like. Because I honestly thought the Dolphins were horrible. Then they turn around and they beat the Jets. You know, and I mean, I'm not saying the Jets were good. I just thought like
No, the
Jets
Dolphins are straight trash.
Yeah, I thought the
now
Jets
that
were more
Tyreek Hill
horrible, but I
is
mean,
out.
the way like they actually went against the Jets, I was like, oh shoot! And then didn't the Dolphins just had a good game against the Panthers?
No, Panthers won.
No, I know, but they had like, I mean, it was a pretty close game.
Panthers suck.
The Dolphins and the Jets are both trash. So yeah, the Chiefs should definitely get their.
I mean, I'm not saying like, of course they're trash, but I mean, Chargers are hurt. You never know.
Yeah, we'll
Just
see.
with the injuries, like it can make it equal for them.
We'll see. If the Chargers do end up somehow finding a way to lose against the Dolphins this week, how close is your finger to that panic button? Now 3-3, Broncos are going to be most likely 4-2. The Chiefs, by the way,
Are up right now.
no, it's
Well,
28-31.
They were up
The
last time I
Chiefs
checked.
have the ball with 3 seconds left at their own 28. So very likely, unless this is wrong, the Chiefs are going to lose.
Yeah.
So they'll be 2-3.
I'd still wouldn't be pushing the panic button yet, just because we will be getting some players back. Not everybody's coming back, but we will be getting some players back at some point this season. Joel maybe misses this game and hopefully comes back for the next. Khalil Mack can come off of the IR after next week. Maybe even after this week they can open his window. But he should be coming back soon. But then Hampton goes on the IR. We're down again. We're down to our 3rd and 4th string running backs.
Yeah, that sucks.
So it's just it's tough.
I was gonna say, I'm like, if you guys can like at least not, like
If we can stay around 500, and when we get some of these reinforcements,
like
maybe
at least alt back. That's
maybe they get a pass rusher before the trade deadline, or a corner, like a little. Not, of course, it's not going to be like top tier corner, but a decent corner and a pass rusher, which pass rushers always move in the deadline. I think that will help them out a lot.
Damn, all right. So you're asking for a lot of help at the trade deadline now.
Pass rusher and maybe a corner, maybe.
I mean,
But a
Seahawks-
pass rusher, I think pass
that's a
rushers
lot.
move in the playoffs.
Seahawks are trying to get rid of Witherspoon, I think.
Yeah. But this Chargers regime isn't going to trade away the house for a possibility of maybe making the playoffs.
Yeah.
If they were in first, they're not. They're tied in first place right now.
It's slipping away already.
But if they
man.
were, say, at this point, tied for first place right before the trade deadline, and they know they're a key piece away, then yeah,
No, it's true
trade the house for it. But I don't think this regime will do that, especially at this point of the year. I think they're still playing the long game. They're still also at least the front office still has an eye into next year, which you always have to. You always have to like be thinking constantly of what your team is going to look like as the season develops. What players won't be there next year. You always have keep us at least an eye for the front office does, not the players, not the coaches, but the front office has to have an eye for next season.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they'll trade away the house for anybody, especially not this season.
No, and we're ways away from that. So well, we'll see what they end up doing, but no, that's still a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
Running short on time. You guys want to do IPAs and Seltzers?
Yeah,
Let's get into it.
Okay. Yeah, let's start with Edgar.
My IPA, I mean,
Which again, we'll go
it's
over
not
again
really
for anybody that's watching for the first time. IPA is Impact Player Award.
Oh, yeah.
It's also the best beer. We give it away to Player of the Week for us, and then also we give away seltzers to players that suck, or persons outside of football or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. So my IPA, I mean, there's clearly after a big loss like that, there's not really much to give out. But I should have I could have given this to him last week. He had one hell of a game last week, and he honestly shocked me. I didn't really think he was going to have such a pretty big game against a pretty good defense, and that's Ashton Genty. He got over 60 yards in rushing. I think he got around 66 yards in rushing and around 40 yards in receiving. So he got total yards of over 100 yards.
Oh, okay. Solid.
Yeah.
Solid. There was a lot of IPAs that could have been sent around for the Broncos this week. Lots of them. Could go Court with 99 yards against Quinyon Mitchell. Could go Bo stepping up in the fourth quarter. But I got to give to Sean Payton, man. Just having huge marbles. Just big marbles, man. The biggest marbles going for it on that 2-point conversion. Just putting your nuts on the table and saying, we're going to beat you today. And we're going to play to win, which has been one of my knocks on Sean Payton the last year or so. Sometimes it feels like he's playing for the tie. You know, last year against the Bengals, they score that touchdown at the end of regular at the end of regulation. Thank you. Had the chance to just go for two, end the game. They kick the field goal. They go into overtime, give Joe Burrow the ball, end up losing. Earlier this year, it felt like they were just kind of playing a little soft against the Chargers as well at the end, make a couple decisions to just kind of win the game. But no, he didn't do that today, or yesterday, excuse me. No, could have just kicked the field goal to tie it. And he said, nah, we're going to get that 1-point lead. So if we do get a field goal later in the game, we're up 4 instead of 3. You're going to have to get a touchdown to beat us. That's what ended up happening. Shout out to Sean Payton. Enjoy that IPA. Enjoy a few of them, man. Because you got a game in London this week. So, have yourself an IPA or a brown.
Yeah, you might as well drink as much as you can because in England they give them to you warm.
Oh, gross. Find a cold one, man, or just get one and put it on ice.
Get a bunch of ice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't do it.
Disgusting.
Sadly, they don't do it.
Omar, is there any IPAs to give out this week?
Like for the entirety of the game, not really. This is more of like a legacy IPA. Keenan Allen, fastest to 1,000 receptions ever. So this is a legacy IPA for you, my boy. Enjoy it.
All right. Sorry, I came in on a game that
Can respect that.
didn't go very well, but
Yeah,
Keenan Allen,
quickest to 1,000 receptions. That speaks for something,
Yeah, for
consistency.
Sure. Yeah, Keenan Allen's awesome. Very good player.
Yeah, definitely a good leader in that receiver group.
Yeah. Okay, seltzers. Let's go on the other. You guys will probably have more seltzers to give out than I do. I know that.
I mean, I can give seltzers to everybody in the team besides Genty. But my seltzer this week is going to go to Geno. I know it's not going to be his last one. I know there's more to come. He might as well just fucking be taped up to that tap. But it is what it is. It's going to be a long season. So,
man, 2 seltzers out of 5 for Geno.
Yeah, that's tough.
He's going to rack up that 6-pack this year.
He is one. Yeah, we have to have a running for 6-packs.
that motherfucker.
Who's gonna clear out the 6-pack first? Geno's definitely
hydrated as heck.
Oh man, there's definitely no one on the Broncos that deserves a seltzer this week. So, do I just give one out to an Eagle? I don't know. Nah,
Give it to like
let's not do that.
give it to that reporter that was hitting on Bill.
Well, there's a lot of reporters that do that. So why don't we just do this? Why don't we do Eagles fans? I was gonna go way outside the box and say Mark Sanchez, but we'll.
Yeah, he took the biggest.
He's not gonna have access to alcohol for a while, so he doesn't even get a seltzer. But yes,
Give him some Bruno.
I was literally about to say that. Get some Pruno.
but yeah, Eagles fans, shut the hell up. They did not lose because of the refs. The Broncos racked up over 100 yards of penalties. Obviously, the refs were on them as well. The pass interference on PS2 to start the game was bullshit. They picked up that flag that would have been a defensive pass interference against Mims at the end of the first half, where the receiver, whatever, Ringo, didn't even turn around. He had his hands in Mims's face, pushed him to the ground while the ball was right next to him. You could complain about that last play towards the goal line at the end of regulation. Shut the hell up. He was not going to catch that regardless, so it was an uncatchable ball. You did not lose because of the refs. You lost because the Broncos are a better team than you. I'm sorry. It's got to be a tough pill to swallow now that you won the Super Bowl last year and obviously you've been the best team of football for the last year and a half. Sorry, man. The reign is over. The Broncos are better than you. And we're going to prove it again if we meet in the Super Bowl this year. Shut the hell up, Eagle fans. Get over it. Get over yourselves and drink them damn seltzers.
There's a lot of places I could go with, but I already said his name, and this is hopefully the last time I'll say his name because he's going to be delegated to the end of the bench, hopefully off the team. Tyler Conklin. Take that seltzer just as hard as you took that football to the face.
You were so pissed now.
Yeah, I had hopes for him to come in and have a decent season.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's usually sure-handed. He's had like less than like 2 drops a year, and then you get just hit in the face. First off, you didn't even know you were supposed to be on the field. You ran on late. The play was to you. Hit you in the hands. Well, went through your hands and hit you in the face. So take that seltzer just as hard to the face.
Damn.
Yeah, that's awesome. By the way, the Chiefs did lose.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, so the Chiefs are now 2-3. Have lost to the Jaguars. Jaguars might be a problem, but that's not one we really have to worry about. The Chiefs are 2-3, which we'd love to see that. Anything else to add for Week 5 reaction? You guys want to get off your chest? Vent?
Already said it.
Cry?
Said enough.
Already
I
said
said
it.
enough.
Okay.
I mean, trust me, it's not gonna be the first and the last time I'll be talking about like the Raiders like this. So keep looking. Every week, keep coming back. You're gonna be seeing me every week, just being frustrated.
I think I'm going to continue to be happy about this season. So
I'll be laughing when the moment that just bites me in the ass.
it always does.
I know, that's exactly why. I'm like, I know there's gonna be a moment
It
where
always
Losing to the Jets. You're like,
the next time we're gonna see Alex, we suck again.
oh no, we suck again.
Well, I hope not. We'll get into next week's games here on our next pod, which we're about to record. But until then, 122 days until Bo Nix whips the shit out of the Eagles again and wins his first Super Bowl. Cheers.
Still not happening. Cheers.